gotta get away. What's he gonna do? Now it's up to you. You've gotta get away.
Hi, welcome to Blah Blah Blah. Thank you, Chris. The show where we talk about minutia, and we always have 3 topics per day. This is, what are you doing, Chris?
Go ahead.
You missed it. He was puking in the bucket, I think.
And that's before the show.
Well, that's when you get the most nervous, anyway.
Yeah.
Right? You know, we've been doing this for years, and still, that this tightens up when you get started.
Yeah,
Anyway, what's that?
Never mind.
I'd like to introduce these guys as if you don't know them already. Hi. I'm the host, George Bernardo, and on my left is Rob Isley.
I'm the other Hardy boy, Parker Stevenson.
Notice the dress here, okay.
He's Sean.
And we gotta quit doing this. We have Jack Albert.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, that's dull. And Chris Bartos.
Bucket Man.
We can't see loud. We can't see your expressions that well. Before we get to today's topics, I want to point out one topic we haven't talked about, and that is procrastination. But I have a really good example here. Well, let me see if I can get it.
I figured we'd get to it eventually.
My shoelaces started coming apart, like the black part, it ripped right off, and for the last about 4 weeks, can't really see it. You get a tight shot of that?
It's a bloody
For the
tail.
last about 4 weeks, I have been. There we go. There we go.
Just put them on the
Oh,
table.
yeah.
See, it's
no.
kind of grayish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I've been telling myself I have to get new shoelaces for about 4 weeks.
And your
Oh my God,
shoes.
they're dusty too. Hold on, let me clean them for a second.
Right.
Anyway,
Spit and
that's going to be a soon-to-come
That's a good look, George.
topic: procrastination.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
let's get to the real topics for today.
Okay.
Today's topics, if you will. On today's show, we are going to talk about
Blankness.
blankness. Today's show, first topic is going to be all tied up, and that's talking about neckties. We're also going to discuss
Something you and I do together.
the price of change, and that's talking about things related to coin change and what we do with it and what we'd like to do with it. We're also going to have a musical performance by Accidental Charm.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, unbeknownst to you, right?
Yeah, man.
All right, well,
This
get
is,
those chops ready.
It's Rob and my band, and there are a couple other people in it who aren't here right now, but
And we're all
we'll be there.
We're all saying this under black here. Okay, over black. We're also going to be talking about.
Black is black.
We're also going to be talking about. There you go. What's on the tube, or
What's in the tube?
television.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to more generally.
What's in her tube?
And then finally, we'll have the tip of the week. So that's our show for today.
Tip is in the tube.
What's that?
You don't want to know.
I don't think I do. All right, ties. The
Go
male
ahead.
fashion phenomenon of the 20th century,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
right? And
Most
the
recent of
21st.
all centuries.
I'm all tied up.
Now, the question is, just where did the tradition start? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
And why?
I'll make it up.
Go ahead. just be quick.
Why should this be different than anything else? I think
I'll
it
fall
started
asleep.
before shirts had buttons. It was the only way to keep your neck closed. That's why they call it a tie, because it tied the 2 bits of the shirt together.
I think they started it because there were so many hangings in the late 19th century, and they wanted people to be so afraid, especially men, that they knew if they wanted to hang them, they could just grab the tie and ring them up.
I thought it had something to do with like women dominance over their men. It's easier to drag them away from their mistresses.
No, it's related.
Okay, my theory is that
That's 3 for 3.
due to the amount of bloodshed, I guess we're talking about this century, we needed them as tourniquets.
As soon as you lose your head, you.
Well, or anything else.
I'll fix that real quick.
That's right. You know,
Unfortunately,
prisoners will staunch their own bleeding after their beheading.
that gives me a good idea. You
Think
have
someone else can
tourniquets for your arms, like
Right,
in
someone
battle.
can take your
Yeah.
tie and use it on you.
Instant.
Yeah.
Just put ties everywhere.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Go to war. Go to Vietnam.
Very fashionable.
Join Bon Jovi.
All right.
The
Motley Crue.
bands in the 80s, they had all sorts of scarves
right.
tied around
Right.
various extremities.
Right.
In terms of keeping with the fashion, women's fashions are always changing.
Oh,
Men's
yeah.
ties are always men's ties. They change
Yeah.
in style a little
Get
bit.
a little wider, a little more
but
colorful.
did it ever occur to anyone that perhaps the production rate of men would be a little bit better at work if they weren't being choked all day long?
I find that to be very true. Yeah. Well, in my profession, which is the health profession, I can't really wear a tie because I'm running around so much and I sweat and I look good, but I feel like crap. So I don't wear
Yeah.
a tie.
But I think Billy Crystal put it best several years ago on Saturday Night Live when he said, "Remember, it is better to look good than to feel good."
Exactly. You know, something I wonder is, whenever you get compliments for ties, if you get compliments, you wonder what your other ties, what kind of...
Yeah.
What about the ties that aren't getting compliments? But speaking of those kind of ties, we all bought in a few ties of our own. And this kind of ties into one of our last shows, no pun intended. This ties into our last show, and that is, our future show is not being able to throw away things.
Oh, boy.
But I want to start with a couple of my ties. And these aren't too bad.
We'll drink after the show.
My tie. This thing here is
Oh boy.
it's kind of shredded, but if I tuck it under the neck pretty
Yeah.
well, then nobody notices. This is one I should definitely toss. But I still have
I think
it.
you just did.
Yeah.
And then I have my Beatles ties.
Now, I like those.
These
I
are
like
cool.
those too.
I think they're cool.
I'm proud of these. I just wanted
wouldn't
to.
wear
Do those
them.
qualify?
I wanted to give the Beatles a plug because they need more publicity.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, it looked good
Do
on
those
you.
qualify as business casual?
Yes,
Business
in my
sexual.
case. But here's the thing with me. I was looking for my old ties that I couldn't throw away, and I looked at all my, and there's none. And then I looked in the back of the closet, and there they were. They were all tied in a bundle on this hanger. I can't really part with them yet, but I just put them very far away.
Holy
These aren't too bad. I guess,
Yeah, they
there you
are.
go. This one is probably not one that I'm going to keep a whole lot longer.
That's pathetic.
Well, we can tie him to a mic stand and be like Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler. What about you guys? What do you got in the line of bad ties?
Well, here's mine. Where the camera is, but I'm just gonna. Okay, Chris. But anyway, you can see this one's rather thin, and they're both a little bit on the thin side. Now the problem with them is, and so much. And this is. I'm being very generous here in saying there's not so much wrong with the tie itself as to what does it go with. But I guess really I should face facts and say the problem is in the tie itself.
Yeah, well, it's both.
They're a little boring.
I mean, I think that would go with a
What do you
white
think?
shirt after you spilled a strawberry daiquiri on
You
it.
think so?
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple shirts like that, so
Okay.
I'll keep that in mind. What do you think about this one? Just
Nothing like clashing.
on
Yeah.
how about like a day when the world's going to come to an end?
That's
Yeah.
good for a
Is
funeral.
that
That's
good
your
for that kind
basic
of-
funeral
Okay.
tie.
All
There
right.
you go. Okay, sorry.
Jack, what do you have for ties?
Jack, what do you got?
Quickly.
Quickly.
Basic black tie, which I guess is okay, except I got it as a Halloween costume, so I generally don't
Basic
wear that.
funeral tie.
Fascinating.
I like that.
Yeah,
Basic black.
really.
And then most of these ties are actually in fine shape. They just, again,
They're in perfect shape. These are like mint ties.
Perfect shape,
All right,
but they're
let's see
perfectly
some-
ugly.
Come
but
on.
they just don't go with anything. They're ugly.
Yeah.
Right. How the hell would you match that?
But, you
Yeah,
know,
I got one of those.
I can stand to throw away threadbare ties, but I can't stand to throw away ties that are fine, but just I will never ever wear.
Yeah.
They just take
I
up room in
wouldn't
my
be called
closet.
Give them as gifts. Find a box. Chris, what do you
hey,
got?
I
Me
have
to you, George.
Thank you.
well, I have this tie that I think it's okay.
I'll never know which is mine
but
now.
but this tie is wider, is like half of my chest. It's a very wide tie.
just
So
more.
I mean, I can't wear wide ties. So and this tie, I don't know what the hell she was thinking when she bought me this.
Where's the rest
she
of
must
them?
have been on some good crack. But it was just a friend of mine from work bought me this. And maybe she thinks I'm childish.
Maybe she
And my-
thinks you're gay.
Well, I'm not gay. Thank you, Sharon. And this is I don't understand the concept of buying this type of tie. I mean, the Beatles tie I can understand, but
Yeah.
not this. Sorry,
See ya. All right, that's all for ties.
we're all tied up with this.
We're all tied up. Ha ha ha. Let's go ahead and show you another clip from our film, our tribute to the Beatles, the Blah Beatles. Here's a short scene from the Blah Beatles.
I saw that Ringo Starr guy, and he's really good on the drums.
Looks like we're going to have to sack you, Pete.
Oh, you want to get rid of me because I'm the best looking one, eh?
I'll tell you, mate, you're just not a Beatle like the rest of us.
Eh? I'm the best looking drummer.
Welcome back to Blah, Blah, Blah. I hope you enjoyed that segment of the Blah Beatles. In case you missed it, Chris was playing the role of Pete Best in that segment.
Yeah.
But
He still is,
It should have been obvious.
as you can see.
It's a spitting image.
Later on, he'll be Ringo, but
Yeah.
the makeup changes and all the things that we took into consideration were probably obvious there. Because we want to keep our production value really, really high and our standard, just so we can be as good as those
A lot
great
came out that time.
Beatles TV movies. Anyway, next topic is the price of change, or the saga of our experience with coin change.
No.
And change is obviously a part of everybody's life. First question to you guys.
Changes.
What do you do with change when you get home?
Put it in a dish, that's a boring answer.
And
but
eat it?
that's- Actually, I sometimes leave it in my pockets, and
bit of
so when I
pesto
wonder
as
what
well,
happened to my change, I have to go around in my pockets and collect it.
Good with oil and vinegar.
I usually try to put it in a dish.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what happens when that dish gets full?
Hopefully, I find a way to spend it. I mean, I put a lot of effort into keeping my change levels
Really?
at a reasonable level. Yeah.
Does your anybody stockpile here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where do you put your stuff?
I have a little doggy dish.
Ooh, a doggy dish.
Oh, that's right. You got it for graduation.
Yeah, and I throw all my change in there. It just overflows and looks like crap. And then when I vacuum, it gets caught up in my vacuum cleaner. And sometimes I'll leave it in my pocket, and then there's like all kinds of change in my washer. So it's a real
Oh,
pain in the
really?
ass, yeah.
Note to
So
self.
you keep it in circulation, is what you're
Check
saying.
your coin change in your
pennies
pocket
get hot.
before you put it in the
Yeah.
washer.
So I throw it in a big dish.
What about you, Jack?
I just treat it as money. So
Treat it as money.
He buys things that you can get.
You
for
put it in
change.
your wallet?
I put it in my pocket, and then when I buy something that comes to $5.17, I get out the 17 cents.
Okay. But when you get home, you're obviously not going to go to bed with your change on. What are you going to do with the change? Where's it
I
go?
take my pants off.
Okay, I know. I set you up for that one. But where does the change go?
It doesn't go anywhere.
It is.
All right, I give up. All
Okay,
right.
it goes into the next pair of pants I'm going to wear.
No way.
That's all.
No, you just put it from one pair of pants. Don't you put it on the dresser or a little dish or?
No.
Okay, fine.
I know my weirdness number just dropped.
It dropped
No.
dramatically.
It went up.
Sounded like about 4 from a 6 out of 100. No, I'm just kidding. That's another show. By the way, whenever Chris and I laugh like that, it's from A Hard Day's Night.
Here's your grandfather.
Ringo has a line where
They're in the train.
they're in the train, and Paul says, "Well, he's a human being, isn't he?" He's talking about his grandfather, and Ringo says, "Well, who knows if he's your grandfather?" Ha ha ha! And every time that movie plays, that is the biggest laugh of the film. Well, Chris and I have adopted that, and we just went a few notches lower on the weirdness chart ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along with coin change. Okay, here's the phenomenon with coin change. Like you said, keep 17 cents in your pocket for when you're going to go pay for something and you don't want to get a whole lot of change back. What's the cutoff for how much change you should give the cashier to not get change back? Like, is it 30 cents or where?
Come back to
could
me.
you give him-
I got to work that out.
If it was where is it getting a little bit like out of hand? If it's like $3.99, you give him 99 cents change.
Good
If-
point.
If you've got it, is that rude? When does it become rude?
Anything over 50 cents, maybe?
It becomes rude when
Yeah.
you're holding up other people and you're counting at 99
that's
cents.
the constraint.
That's
it's not,
it.
It's not the figure. It's whether you're holding people up.
Yeah.
If I see a big line, I just
Yeah.
let them give me change.
Well, you know what irks me is when you
Lot of
get
things.
when you when you've given like pennies. If you get 29 cents or whatever,
Right.
and you get a quarter and 4
Right.
pennies back, and you give the 4 pennies to the cashier, and you're going to come back like at my lunch at work, and then you actually will need pennies, and you want to use those pennies from the blue dish. And they look at you like you're crazy, like you're borrowing money from that blue dish. They get
I don't
irked about
hesitate.
it. I'm sorry.
That's
No.
what the dish is there for, right?
Yeah. How many times have I contributed to that little dish? Many, many times. And you're looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm taking 2 cents? You got a problem with me? So
A little paranoid there.
Because of your fine wardrobe, Chris, they think you can afford.
it's that tie.
No, I'm going to choose a little lower than 50 cents. I'm going to say 25 cents
Really?
for whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
But
I
what if
thought
it's
about it.
26? You want to? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's where the pennies come into. If it's 76 cents, you got to give. Well, you just give them a penny though.
Well,
then you get a quarter back.
I like giving pennies, not getting pennies.
That's the.
So I'll give, if
yeah.
it's 17 cents, I'll give a quarter and 2 cents. And I'll get back, whatever, dime, nickel.
But isn't it awful when you don't have that penny in your pocket? You're like, it comes out to 2001, and you're like, am I going to have to break another 20 because I don't have 1 cent? So what I'll do is, and this works half the time, I'll look around on the floor for a penny, for a doggone penny, and then pray to God that if I don't find a penny on the floor or whatever, that the guy just lets me go, because it's nothing can wreck your day worse than to say, it's just a penny, is it all right? And they
Hey,
go, I don't understand.
You're talking about pennies. I've got something to say to the U.S. Mint. Get rid of pennies.
What about
in like the 1930s, money was worth maybe a tenth of what it is now. Did you have tenth penny coins? No, you just had pennies. So now the pennies are worth 1/10 of what they were. Ditch them.
Yeah. Or they're trying to get rid of them.
how much of your
They're not
coins
trying hard
change is lost in the cushions? You seen that commercial? For what is it? For health insurance or something for the elderly? The guy comes over. He invites all these old friends over, and they all sit there, and they just go up and they shake them in their seats, and then they get up and leave. And then they pull out the money that came out of their pockets for their health insurance. Gotta love it.
It's always
You
a
know,
great.
I found money not in my couch, but in the car.
Oh yeah.
Lots of money in the car.
That's from wearing what I call contribution pants, which are loose pants that when you sit down, it creates a perfect channel for change to just run out of your pockets.
That's right.
And off the edges of the seat.
You should invent something to prevent that.
They have. They're called jeans.
Some of the best advice ever given to me was make sure you always have $1. So now to me, it's like make sure I always have $1 in change. I have it in my car, in my pants, my underwear, wherever. I always got to have at least $1 change in me, on me.
Really?
I did that when I was 5.
What if that dollar and change is a Susan B. Anthony dollar? Doesn't help, does it?
And that's the thing
that's a winner.
And they keep trying to introduce coin dollars, and you never see them because people hoard them because they think, oh, it's a collector's item.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Like the $2 bill. Where did that go?
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Well,
didn't-
example taken.
Well, cash registers don't have a thing for a $2 bill.
And especially for a $2 coin. Wow, we got to drop that.
I've got one of those.
It's too much. Let's go ahead and show you another
Like $2
How
tie.
to Meet Girls in
$3
Paris,
bill.
and then we're going to see Accidental
Hello,
Charm
let's go.
playing one of your songs, actually, Victims of Whim.
Cool.
So, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
In 2 and 2.
Excuse me, mademoiselle, but would you like a cookie?
George watched the Goslings swim. And they swam, and they swam.
From birth to age 3 are the most important years in a child's brain development. The time that defines who they become.
So little baby.
Hi, we're Accidental Charm. We're going to be playing a few songs for you today. And the first song we're playing is off of our album, All Over the Map. It's a song I wrote, and it's called Victims of Whim. 1, 2, 3, 4!
I saw you were standing when all around you lay in utter ruin. You defied our wisdom, and now your laughter resonates our tears. Generations we were hooked. She seduced our reason. Come in, we said, just take it, it's all yours. Well, sorry about that, folks. I guess just a joke. Don't take it so bad, cut us some slack. Not such a bad set of blokes. Well, I guess you could say we're done. Now that we've had our fun, on to the next, victims of whim and another mind game won.
Picasso painted the old guitarist during a period of depression that lasted 4 years, his blue period. Today, with new discoveries, 80% of depressive disorders are being successfully treated, giving hope to millions that maybe now nobody has to have a blue period.
Welcome back to Blah Blah Blah.
Blah, blah,
Hope you
blah.
enjoyed that song with Jack over here singing.
Mark, shave
You
your
changed colors
head
really
bald.
quickly though. You too, Rob.
Mark,
That's quite amazing.
Yeah.
shave
It's
your
part of our
head
act.
bald.
We have one more topic for you today,
Magic.
and that's what's on the tube, or the evolving (parentheses) declining world of modern television.
What's in the tube?
Now, with all of the network television in the last few years, and we keep hearing about when we're going to have 500 channels. Do you think the quality has been watered down sufficiently with having close to 100 channels? And what is it that we're supposed to be looking forward to with 500 channels? I haven't figured that out yet.
They call it narrowcasting. It's where everybody's individual little interest has a show. You have
Or a network.
House and Garden. You have the Food Network.
Right.
You have the recycling 70s sitcoms network.
You have the but what are some of the shows that or some of the networks we'll have in the future with 500 channels?
Well, besides the game show network, let's see, which I like. I think that's class television. What would be a
Cruelty to Animals channel.
The paint drying channel.
The divorce channel.
That's good. The Divorce in California channel. That'd be a whole other channel itself.
The
We should have thought of these before we got on the air. This would have been good. All right. If you had to limit to only watch 5 channels, what would they be, Chris?
Hi.
Aside from Spice.
I have my own collection, thank you. I really like the History Channel, and I really like, back in 1932.
That's one?
wow.
May I jump in?
Please.
We'll make it 2
I
channels.
watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
Mr. TV here.
Mr. TV.
You
don't watch enough.
the Hitler channel.
Okay,
I mean
Hitler.
History channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many things happened in World War II. Just you keep
Yeah,
coming up with
it
new
is.
A lot of
stuff that
people
happened.
died and stuff.
Yeah, and it's interesting when people die.
Rob, what channel do you like?
I like VH1 because
Okay,
I'm not hip
like
enough
one
for
channel.
MTV.
If you had one channel, what would it be?
VH1.
History.
History. History?
Discovery Channel. Awesome.
All right.
I'm not going to learn anything.
And now you will see the difference between everybody else on Blah and me. And that is that I would pick ESPN like half the male world out there, but that's me.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, you know.
What is the deal? Oh, here's a good one. How many different channels does the average couch potato flip through in an hour? Take a random guess.
God.
50.
Yeah, 50.
50?
100.
100.
However many you've got.
My thumb hurts.
You think there's anything that happens to us physically that might affect us in a negative way because of flipping too many channels?
Carpal tunnel
carpal
syndrome.
tunnel and
I think just broken relationships.
broken relationships.
Broken relationship. Yeah.
We talked about
Short
that with
attention
remote
span.
control. All right.
Yeah. Unless something is jiggling, I'm on the next channel.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Come
mean
on, Jack.
Doesn't mean the reception.
I
That's
can just see.
included in the
I
History
can just see
Channel.
Adolf doing a striptease. I love this part of the
Hey, don't
World
knock
War
Ava
II.
Brown.
Don't know.
She was
Ava
hot.
Brown.
Ava Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
She's blonde and stuff.
The topical question of television, of course, now is the reality shows. What? How many more reality shows could we have? What's a new idea for a reality show? And do you like them?
Yeah, I don't watch them.
They're not really real anyway,
I
are
think it
they?
depends on the characters. You can have some real morons, and you can have some pretty sharp people that make it interesting.
Yeah.
Like the Survivor that's on now. There's a couple interesting cats on that
Right.
on that show. But it can get pretty mundane, and it's just like watching Ed TV or the Truman Show over and over again. Speaking of real TV, as you mentioned.
What I can't get over is the fact that these people know they're on camera. To me, the
Right.
really interesting reality show would be people who don't know they're being recorded.
Like the Truman Show was very interesting to watch.
As a
And you could
concept,
do-
yeah. But I mean, actually, it would have to be illegal to be really entertaining,
Oh yeah.
and immoral and unethical.
And
That's
sexual.
what would really get ratings.
Yeah, you mean true spying, true reality
It's
spying.
like the
on
shows where
people.
they capture people,
You know-
they catch people shoplifting and stuff. I like that.
That'd be good. How about a reality
You
show
get a job
of
watching
people working at the toll booths? That would be pretty exciting. See which ones say thank you or you're welcome.
We're headed, George. We're headed there.
I know that's
It's the
part
New
of the 500.
Jersey, the New Jersey Turnpike Channel.
That I would love.
3 in the
Yeah.
morning. Here
Get
we
the
are.
hell out of my way!
Well, they could put cameras in all the rest stops along
Yeah.
the turnpike, and
See
you know,
all the
with
people
like
getting held
30
up.
rest stops, there's bound to be something interesting happening in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Enough to cobble together an hour show once a week.
Get ACT.
Hitler doing a striptease.
We're just about out of time now, but we want to do our tip of the week, and there I am. Actually, again, we have a bonus. We have 2 tips.
Ooh.
And first tip is related to coin change thing, and that is if you're at Starbucks and you get caught trying to steal a handful of change out of the tip jar, tell the employees you'll split it 60-40 if they don't tell the manager. Okay, that's the first tip. And the second tip is related to ties. Now, if you get on a
100% in a normal scenario.
yeah, it would be. If you get on a really, really crowded elevator, and so the only place you can stand is right in front, and your tie gets caught in the door,
Yeah.
make sure you press the emergency stop button if you plan on going down more than 3 floors. That's the tip. Anyway, we're out
How
of time.
stretchy your tie is. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't
We
understand.
will see you next time
later.
on Blah, Blah, Blah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We've gotta get away.